Greetings in Jesus' wonderful name and welcome to Riverside Chats. I want to continue with the series I began on Job, and more specifically, we're looking at some scientific information in the Bible. The Bible is not a scientific manual, but all the science in the Bible is accurate. God knows all things. He is the best mathematician. He is the greatest physicist there ever is. God is the intelligent designer. We look at Job chapter 38, verses 8 to 11. The Bible says, "Who shut up the sea behind doors when it burst forth from the womb? When I made the clouds its garment and wrapped it in thick darkness, when I fixed limits for it and set its doors and bars in place. When I said, 'This far you may come, and not any further. Here is where your proud waves halt.'" Have you ever been to the ocean? I come from South Africa. I come from a city, a small town called Stanger. It is about 80 kilometers from Durban on the north coast. If you travel more north, you'll go to a place called Richards Bay. I grew up in a little place called Glendale. It is a beautiful valley with the river Amvodi just going through its extensive plains. It was always great to go to the sea, to go to the beach, and New Year's Day was a big thing for everyone to go to the beach. Families would take food and get together with other extended families. Friends would have a wonderful time. That's generally how you spent New Year's Day. It was great for everyone to swim, and we would go to a beach that was very popular. It was called Tinley Manor Beach. It was not in the Durban area, a big city. So it was a good beach, kind of private, not with myriads of people like the beaches in Durban. I always was intrigued by the waves, how they stop right at the same point. They may change a little in high and low tide, but God has marked boundaries for the waves. God said, "Thus far, and you will go no further." Now, the tsunami several years ago caused great damage, especially in Asia. I was walking on the beach in Chennai with a friend of mine, and we were talking, and he was saying, "Pastor Charles, so many bodies have not yet been found, and I believe there's thousands of bodies under these beaches." Chennai is on the Bay of Bengal. Devastation was caused not only in India but also in Thailand. Beautiful resort places like Phuket and others saw thousands of people die. When the oceans rise and thunders roar, I will soar with you above the storm. Father, you are king above the flood. I'll be still and know that you are God. That song was popularized around the time of the tsunami, so many people called it the tsunami song. God is the God who has established the boundaries of the sea. There's so much water on the earth. I remember one day flying over the Atlantic. You know, when you're in a big ship, you say, "Wow, it's so big." But when you're in an airplane about 35,000 feet in the air, and you look at the massive ocean, and you see something tiny there, it's all about perspective. Water can cause such immense damage. Just a flood in a small stream could cause such damage. You see, Job probably heard of the flood in Noah's day. The whole planet was covered with water. I believe it was a worldwide flood. The Lord put a rainbow in the sky. It's amazing how people hijack the symbols of the Lord. The rainbow was a covenant God established with man. He said, every time you see the rainbow, remember that I will never cause a worldwide flood again. I will never destroy the earth with water again. God destroyed the people because of their immense evil. But also God destroyed the people because they were a mixed race. Now, God is not against interracial marriage. When I talk about a mixed race, I'm talking about a race comprised of giants and men. The Bible says the fallen sons of God, they were called the Nephilim. I think I might have it wrong there. I don't remember the name right now, but it could be the Nephilim. There was a union between giants, which were the evil fallen angels, and the daughters of men who were fair. Now, children that came from this union were horrible. They were vile. They were wicked. And God wanted not only to destroy mankind because of the evil, but because of the mixed race of giants and mankind. But when God had seen all the devastation, I remember singing a song, God had rescued Mr. Noah. He put a rainbow in the sky to remind him of the flood time when so many had to die. God is a God of compassion. As Noah came out of the flood, Noah and his family saw all the devastation. God made a promise to Noah. He said, as long as the earth remains, there's seed time and harvest. Cold and heat, summer and winter, these shall never cease. God established the seas where they went and when to stop. God always keeps his promises. There's never been a worldwide flood since Noah's day. When Job was living, this was an accepted fact, Noah's flood. Some of Noah's descendants could have been alive when Job was alive. So retelling this experience of the flood must have been an amazing experience. The Creator has great power. Job 38, 8 to 11 reads, let's read it again. Who shut up the sea behind doors when it burst forth from the womb? I had the privilege of going to Disneyland many times, and one of the places I like is Epcot Center. There is a place called the World of Energy. They tried to visualize how the Big Bang happened. I don't believe in the Big Bang theory, but I believe there was a Big Bang and several bangs when God put all the earth together. The waters might have gushed. God says it burst forth from the womb. God said, I made the clouds as its garment. Precipitation is amazing. From precipitation, we get rain, we get ice, we get snow. And every snowflake is not the same. They are different to each other. God says he wraps the clouds like a garment in thick darkness. When I first fix limits for it and sets its doors and bars in place. Could you imagine? The earth is constantly moving. It's moving around the sun. When you made that statement years ago, they would have killed you. They believed the earth was flat, but the earth is constantly moving. It's moving at a constant speed. It takes 365 and a quarter days for it to make one revolution. I'm not a scientist. I hope my facts are accurate, but you can check on that too. God said, when I said this far, you may come and go no farther. Here is where your proud waves halt. The Creator is amazing. He is the creator of all things. He is the sovereign God of the universe. God is sovereign. We should not be afraid.